Welcome back in the third class of the chapter 1. Today we will study the antibodal arrangement of the earth, biosphere, heat cycle, oxygen cycle, and some favorable conditions for life on earth and the earth's satellite. Here in the earth there are the land and water distributions are some different. Land is only 29% and water is only 71%. This is a replica of our earth, the globe, and here you can see the distribution of the land and earth, land and water on the earth. So here is the two hemisphere in our earth. These are northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, maximum of the land masses are in the northern hemisphere, and the southern hemisphere is maximum part of the southern hemisphere is covered by the water. So the all the continent, between all the continent, maximum of continents are in the northern hemisphere. And one special things in the in our art, that is antipodal arrangement. Antipodal means that is the opposite thing. You can see here where in the northern hemisphere land are there, in this at the same place of the southern hemisphere there is water. So what is happening means, in the northern hemisphere where is land, in the southern hemisphere there is water, whereas in the southern hemisphere water, land there is, in the northern hemisphere there is a water. So the different things means opposite things it is happening in our earth, and this distribution is called the antipodal arrangement. In the northern hemispheres there are the greatest land masses are there. Some are the complete the total whole circle, and the Antarctica, from the Antarctica some places, three places are extended from the Antarctica, three land masses. These are the South America, Australia and the South Africa. This is our earth and the land and water distribution. Next is biosphere. In our earth, three realms: lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere. Lithosphere made up with the rocks, hydrosphere made up with water, and atmosphere made up with the air. In that three layers there are three realms, there are some living things are living, and together the three realms is called the biosphere. If we exclude one realms from the earth, then that is not possible for the living things to live in our earth. And in the lithosphere some animals, human being, vegetation, microorganism, all these things are living. In the sea and the means hydrosphere, there are marine living organisms like fish, octopus, these are, and other also the marine organisms. And in the air there are species which are bird, aves which are, and these three realms together is called the biosphere. And biosphere is actually a ecosystem. Ecosystem means here all the it is a community of, you can say, a community of living organisms, and here all the living organisms are connected with the non living organisms in of our environment. And here all the living organisms also interlinked, like animals, plants, human beings, microorganisms, bacteria, all these things are interlinked. And in that ecosystem there are many of the, and in that ecosystem there are the many of the physical and the biological factors which are the stable in the condition, and many of the cycles are here: water cycle, nitrogen cycle, carbon dioxide cycle, heat cycle. All these cycles are here and it is balancing the our ecosystem, and we need to know all these cycles also. To balance our biosphere or the ecosystem, these cycles are mostly important, and along with that our environment is also depend on these cycles. And one another thing is the most important component that helps our ecosystem to be balanced, that is the solar energy or the solar sunlight. So this sunlight or the solar energy that transfer into the molecules, that process is called photochemical process. And the example of photochemical process is like photosynthesis, and in that process plants make the carbon dioxide, with the help of the carbon dioxide, water and the sunlight, the oxygen, they produce the oxygen and the glucose, and they leave the oxygen into the air. This oxygen are inhaled by the animals and the human beings, and they exhale the carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide the plants again they are taking, and they make the oxygen and the glucose in the process of the photosynthesis. These, in that way, the oxygen and carbon dioxide continuously cycling in our environment, and these are maintaining our ecological balance. This is very important to conserve our forest or to sustain the life on the earth. So photosynthesis to atmosphere, the oxygen, and oxygen to respiration by the animals and the human being, and then from them the carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide to again into the photosynthesis process. In this way the oxygen is continuously cycling. So this is our oxygen cycle. Now I am going to explain you the heat cycle. The sunlight is the important component in for our earth, and this is the one and only component in the heat cycle. So see that this is our earth, and here that is the atmosphere of our earth, and this is the sun, and from the sun here light is coming. This is the 100% sunlight is coming, but 100% is not absorbed by the earth's surface or the atmosphere. Only 60% is absorbed by the earth and the atmosphere, and rest of the 40%, in between the 100%, 40% is reflects back into the space. Now in the 60% there are two division. One is the 45% and another one is the 15%. 45% is absorbed by the earth's surface. Here it is the 45% by the earth's surface. 45% absorbed, and 15% that is absorbed by our atmosphere. By our atmosphere the 15% is absorbed. So in the 16%, 45% and 15%, there are two things. One is absorbed by the earth's surface, 45%, 15% is absorbed by the atmosphere. In the atmosphere there are some aerosol, some dust, some gas molecules. By this 15% sunlight is absorbed, and this 40% which are reflect back to the space, these are called the albedo. And this process that we by the earth's surface 45% is absorbing, this process is called our insolation. So by the full of this cycle our sunlight is cycling in our life and in our earth, that is called the heat cycle. After studying all the realms of the earth, all the cycles of the earth, the solar energy and the biosphere, all these things, after studying all these things, we can easily understand what are the favorable conditions for the life on the earth. By the help of these favorable conditions, here the living things are. So without this condition, living things cannot be here. So there are three main favorable conditions. One is the temperature, another one is the atmosphere, and last one is the water. With the help of these three conditions, all the living things are here, and if we exclude any one from this favorable condition, there will be the not possible for the living things being here. So first point is our the temperature. Here you can see in the picture what is the position of the earth. Earth is not too much close to sun, not too much far from the sun. So earth's position is the perfect. For that reason, earth is the earth's temperature, average temperature of the earth is 15 degrees centigrade, and this is the perfect for the all living things. All living things can absorb this much heat. So for that reason, the in the earth the living things are here. But if you can see the in the chart, there are the temperature of the other planets, Mercury or Venus, so much close to the sun, that is why they are very hot planets. And Mars to Neptune, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, these are too much far from the sun, so they are not getting the perfect light from the sun, so they are the so much cold planet. For that reason, the in the Mercury and the Venus, they are not possible, in the so much heat, they are not possible to be in the living things. And as same as with the other planets, the Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, these planets also, they cannot possible the for the living things being there. So this is the reason. And next point is the water. Water is the most important things for us, because without water we can live here. With the help of the water, in the photosynthesis process, plants make the oxygen, and we get the oxygen from there. And for live, the water is important for drinking and other work. The water is the most important things, and for making food, for the washing things, all the things. And we get the all this water from the earth. There are the 70% of the total water is the 70% on the earth. Plenty of water is there. Maximum part of the earth is the covered by the water, and there is ocean, seas, river, ponds, these things, all these things, so that the water is plenty. So that is why we can easily being here. And the next point is the atmosphere. And this there are some in the atmosphere. There are many of the gases are there, like nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, neon, argon, krypton, and ozone. And ozone is the one of the most another important another important gas. Why it is? Because it absorbs the ultraviolet ray from the atmosphere. That is why it is the another important. So atmosphere is the extent up to the 1600 kilometer. And here is the ozone layer, here is the oxygen plenty of, here is the nitrogen. So they help the living things to be here in our earth. Last topic, that is the earth satellite. The moon is the one and only natural satellite of the earth. And moon, from the moon to earth, the distance is 3,84,000 kilometer. Some special features it has, like moon's diameter is the almost 1/4 of the earth's diameter. That is why moon and earth both are together called the double planet. Moon is continuously rotating on its axis, and continuously along with that revolving around the earth. What is why that is? It is revolving around the earth because of the force that is called the centripetal force. What is the centripetal force? This force, how it is happening? If I hold a string, and with the string there is a ball is tied up. So, if I swing the string continuously, the ball will also swing around my hand, so ball will not fall down from my hand. Here in the picture you will see that is why the ball is not falling down from the string, because my hand is the heavier than the ball. That is why there is a force is creating between my hand and the ball, that is the centripetal force, and for that reason the ball is not falling down. That means towards the my hand there is a force is creating. So as same as that around as same as that the between the earth and the moon there is also a centripetal force, because for that force the moon is continuously revolving around the earth. The earth is heavier than the moon, that is why it is continuously pulling the moon, and moon is continuously revolving around the earth. So this force is called the centripetal force. Here the moon takes the 77.53 days to complete its rotation on its axis, and moon takes the same day, means 27.53 days to complete the revolution around the earth. So moon's rotational speed and the revolution speed both are same. There is the both are same, there is no difference timing between the rotational speed of the moon and the revolution speed of the moon. That is why we are all time facing one side of the moon. That is a one most important feature of the moon. And another feature is that the gravitational force here it is very low, so that here is no gases, and here is no atmosphere, and the temperature of the moon is daytime that is 100 degrees centigrade, and the night time minus 180 degrees centigrade. That means the temperature span of the night and the between the night and the day, that is too high. One another special feature is for the gravitational force of the moon on the earth, the tides are happening. So this is our natural satellite.